There are moments where you realize you are completely, undeniably doomed. Not normal doomed, like getting caught copying homework. I'm talking about the kind of social death doomed that makes you want to pack a backpack, change your name, and live in a cave in Antarctica. And it was entirely my own fault. I'm DG. My life is a constant balancing act of trying to look cool while being secretly terrified of literally everything, especially girls. More specifically, Amy, the girl who sits ahead of me in history and has the most distracting laugh in the universe. I had spent 3 weeks trying to formulate a single sentence to say to her. My current record was, "Hey, do you have a pencil?" To which she replied, "You're holding 3. Yeah, smooth. So, in a moment of pure desperation, I downloaded an audiobook, How to Talk to Girls for Complete Losers. It was read by a narrator who sounded like a robot trying to pretend it had feelings. I locked myself in my bedroom, put on my wireless noise-canceling headphones, and listened to him explain eye contact, smile, and such. If anyone found out, my social status would drop below the dust bunnies, but I was desperate. I sat there, repeating the exercises, thinking I was making progress. By 7 p.m., my brain was fried and my stomach was making noises like a dying whale. I needed food. Normally, getting a snack is simple, but tonight my parents were hosting a dinner party directly below my bedroom to impress my dad's new boss, Mr. Williams, a man who hadn't smiled since 1998, and his wife, who judged people for using the wrong salad fork. My older sister Chloe was also there, acting like the perfect, poised daughter. Chloe lives to make my life miserable, so avoiding her was priority number 1. I slipped my phone into my pocket, kept my headphones on, and crept out. I was a ghost. I glided down the stairs, avoiding the creaky step on the landing. Through the walls, I heard the muffled, elegant classical music and polite, fake dinner party laughter. I slipped into the kitchen. The counter was covered in fancy cheese platters and a massive bowl of fresh guacamole. Yes, score. I grabbed chips and a soda. As I popped the tab, the can slipped. My heart leaped into my throat. But with pure ninja reflexes, I swiped my hand down and caught the can a millimeter before it hit the floor. I let out a quiet breath of relief. I was safe. I was a genius. I leaned against the counter, crunching on a chip, feeling like I had pulled off the heist of the century. But my relief lasted exactly 4 seconds. Suddenly, the voice of Dr. Sterling in my ears just stopped. The noise-canceling silence was replaced by absolute quiet. "Wait," I muttered, tapping my earbud. "Did the battery die?" I pulled out my phone. The screen showed the audiobook was still playing, but the buds were silent. I figured it was just a wireless glitch. What my potato-sized brain had completely forgotten was that my dad had recently upgraded our living room sound system with a massive, high-powered Bose Bluetooth soundbar. And because he is obsessed with convenience, he set it to auto-pair with any active device. My earbuds hadn't died. They just lost connection through the thick walls, and my phone automatically locked onto the soundbar. Thinking my phone was just glitched, I did the stupidest thing possible. I cranked the volume up. I mashed the button until the volume slider on my screen was a solid bar of red. "Why isn't this working?" I whispered. And then, through the kitchen swing door, I heard it. It was a booming, crystal-clear, high-definition broadcast of Dr. Sterling's voice, amplified by 200 watts of soundbar power, cutting directly through the classical music and polite chatter. The living room, previously filled with the quiet murmur of Mr. Williams, talking about quarterly finance projections, was suddenly hijacked with the force of a stadium rock concert. I stood frozen in the kitchen, chip halfway to my mouth, as the robotic voice blasted through the drywall. Lesson 3. Overcoming the intimidation factor. When approaching a female of the species, remember that she is also a human, despite her superior beauty and social standing. My heart stopped. My blood turned to probably liquid nitrogen. I spun around, my hands shaking, trying to press the pause button. But my fingers were covered in chip oil, making the phone slick. As I frantically tapped, the phone slipped. It flew through the air, spun twice, and landed with a wet, heavy thud, right into the center of the giant bowl of fresh guacamole. The phone submerged. I plunged my hand into the bowl, pulling out the phone, but the touchscreen was totally unresponsive. The guacamole had registered as 1,000 simultaneous touches, freezing the device. But the audiobook kept playing. Chapter 3, Mirror Practice. Look at yourself and say, I am a handsome boy. The robotic voice echoed through the house, bouncing off the hardwood floors. From the dining room, I heard Mr. Williams' booming voice. What in God's name is that? And then, Chloe's voice, dripping with pure joy. Oh my God, is that DG's phone? I was in total panic. I grabbed a spoon and started scraping green slime off the screen, trying to type my passcode. Incorrect passcode. Try again in 30 seconds. No! What? No! No! The voice continued. Practice a gentle smirk. Do not show too much teeth, or you will resemble a threatened chimpanzee. I wanted the earth to open up and swallow me whole. In a final, desperate act of survival, I shoved my thumb onto the power button and held it down, praying the phone would shut off before Dr. Sterling started explaining how to deal with sweaty palms. Finally, the screen flickered, turned black, and the voice was cut off. The silence that followed was deafening. I stood in the kitchen, breathing heavily, covered in guacamole and shame. I slowly pushed the swing door open. Every single person at the dinner table stared. Mr. Williams looked at me like I was a new species of insect. Mrs. Williams had her napkin pressed to her mouth. My dad looked like he had aged 10 years in 10 seconds. And Chloe? She was recording me, grinning so wide her face looked ready to split. Needless to say, I spent the night in my room, plotting my relocation to the wilderness. Amy will have to wait until we are 90. What is the most embarrassing song or audio that has ever blasted out on your phone? Let me know in the comments so I feel less like a clown. See ya!